That's all that
Sergey.
matters. What?
Yes,
What?
Sergey speaks good English. Best English. Yes, yes.
Great, man. We're
Uh,
not here to hurt you. We just need a
I
ride.
love America. Yes, yes. I love America, John Wayne. Yes, you need the ride. Sergey, be glad to be of help. He sort of looks around and there is plenty of room in car. Yes.
Perfect. Ronnie, do you want to take the front seat? I'll take the hatch in the rear
Yeah,
and
that's
cover
cool.
our
Yeah,
ass. All right, yeah.
yeah.
I'll
So I
kind
jog
of.
over. I
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Sergey kind of slides
um
his pistol out of the way, so not quite.
I just jog over to the passenger side, um, get in, try and not look too threatening, give him a big smile and a tap on the shoulder as I get in.
Yeah, and I just go to the rear. Just after a couple of pulls, manage to get the rear hatch open, swing it up, and then basically sit on the tailgate and just kind of grab a part of my sling, hook it onto something that looks vaguely stable, so that if this guy accelerates really quick, I don't immediately tumble my ass right out the back. But I'll just
Well,
be.
if you did, all you'd have to do is stand up, and you could probably stop the car. So.
Indeed. Now you can
So
move your character,
what's your, oh yeah,
and you can hold down Shift, and it won't suck it to
Oh,
the wrong place. If you hold down, I think it's Shift, it'll put it right where you want it to go.
all right.
Car's there. Is it working? Okay. Now I need. By the way, Eric, you're observing. You're kind of crouching in some rubble in this building, and you're about 40, 50 meters from the car, and you're watching this, and you're getting ready to come down because your friends or your comrades with the two soldiers, right? So hold on, somebody. I'm just gonna move the car back. I think.
yeah, that was me. Apologies.
No problem. I think you guys can move the car. I might.
Um,
So I'll move your characters back where you need them and hold shift. That's fine. You got to get used to it a bit, Foundry. That's and you can ping
yeah,
as well in this game. And we'll go over some more stuff though. I was kind of pumped to get into it. Uh, so the U goes back here, and I think Nick, you were. Oh, he's having a bit of trick. You were around the side, right?
yeah.
Something like that. Okay.
I'm having.
So Eric, are you there? Because you see you've made your recon roll successfully, and you spot him right away, and you know who he is. He's about 50 meters away. It's a Soviet soldier, and he appears to be making his way through the rubble. He's appears to be looting or something. He's got a bag, and he's talking over his shoulder to somebody that you don't quite see, and they're coming toward the street that your car is on. And they'll be there in a minute or two, if that, not even.
Is it in the sound of life to my guys? Will they be able to see them, or am I the only one?
You can only see them at the moment. They will be able to see them probably in about 30 seconds.
Okay. Uh, well, I'm gonna try. We want to get out of there as possible. So I'm gonna try to get far without seeing.
You realize that may take too long and may not be possible unless you go around, which would take a while.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and.
They got AKs, of course. Two of them so far.
M16A2.
Sorry, Eric, you are breaking up a bit. Or is that just me? I think he is, right, guys?
Yeah, I'm getting some breakup.
I'm getting most of it, but it's that I missed that last bit.
Got an M16A2 inventory, is that correct?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Oh, like we'll this on the scale, so go ahead and shoot at the one, obviously the one I see.
Gotcha. Okay, so he's you can use a slow action to. By the way, Eric, excuse me for a moment. I'm just going to show these guys up in the directory. You'll see a close combats and close combat encounters. Pardon me. In there, I have
Gotcha.
just rolled. However, Max has Overwatch, and these guys don't see him, so he's going to take a shot. Now, Max, there there's two of them, and they're in the same hex, so you may have the option, to second to shoot at both if you get a good roll. Okay, so sorry everybody, it's first time doing this stuff. I'm having a little issue with Foundries here. Okay, Max, you're going to fire. Do you want to use your full rate of fire? Up to 3. Um,
Did you get me, Darren?
no, I missed that. Pardon me.
Round.
Wow. Okay. You not only got a headshot on the first guy, but you got 4 hits total, which means the first guy is most likely going down, because you can take enough hits there that he gets a critical, and then you can actually take another 2 hits to hit the other guy and give him a critical.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay. So you guys suddenly hear, of course, the sound of the old M16 ripping off. And that, of course, you all go in and you can decide what to do next. I've hit the initiative button, so that should be okay. Now I'm going to make a critical roll here for you, Eric, on both these guys. And it should give me... So he's got a headshot. Let's roll critical. These are always fun.
And extremely morbid.
And sometimes, yeah, brutal. But you blew his ear off. And he spins around and kind of... But you're not sure. You don't think you killed him. You clipped him in the ear. The other guy, I'm going to roll 6-sided to see where you got him. Oh, wow, okay. 1. I don't have the table. What's a 1? Is that the head or is that that's the legs? Yeah, I think it's legs. So you end up spraying these 2 guys, and
Oh.
ow, cringe. You shoot him in the knee, it shatters this guy, and basically saws most of his leg off, and he's down, he's out. And they're both down for the moment. And often with non-important or powerful NPCs, I might just make a call that they're down and killed. Okay.
Gotcha.
So they're both down. And let's go to the next person is Poach. Or pardon me, that would be sorry, that's Bad Karma. Mike is next.
Oh, uh, I kind of stick my head out the back of the car and I go, Max, what do we got back there, man? You all right?
Yeah. I just took care of 2 guys.
Okay. Darren, is there enough room for the car to get up, up over behind this tank here? I'm
Yeah,
not sure if there's enough room between the rock. Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna like slap the side of the car and I say, driver, or do I, Sergey? I'm just gonna assume that you introduce yourself by your name. Sergey, pull up behind that
Yes.
tank between the building, and we're gonna go pick up Max and get the hell out of here.
That is Max. He points to the guy that he sees there. Yes.
Yeah, the guy that
Okay.
just.
Okay.
Yep, you got it, man.
Okie dokie. Yes.
Where there's two, there's definitely going to be more. So I'd prefer not to be here when they show up.
Yes. Very bad idea. Yes. Yes.
So
Uh,
that's going to be my action because I really don't have anybody.
Are you gonna get in or stay outside? Because I'll
No,
put you in.
yeah, I'm already in the back.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just kind of sitting on the edge of it with my gun ready in case somebody comes up behind us. But since there's nobody in sight, I'm more concerned about getting out of here.
Yep. All right. So you're just go over there. So
Yep.
we'll move ahead then to Sergey. It's your turn. You're gonna follow instructions, I guess. Zip over there.
he is going to obey the person with the very big guns behind him. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
and unlike Poach, Mike is not particularly uh, concerned about looking threatening or friendly. He's just like, I don't give a shit. We need to get out of here.
oh yeah.
And this guy like, yeah, and Poach is in the passenger seat at this point. Yeah. He'll
Yes.
turn over to you're American too. Yes. Yes. No. Maybe.
Sorry, was that me? My
Yeah.
headset's just come off. Sorry,
Yeah.
to me. No.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm English, and while I'm saying that, I
Oh.
unwind the passenger window down as well.
Oh, England. Yes, yes. Sergey loves England too. God Save Queen. Yes. Mel Gibson. Yes, yes.
Yes, Mel Gibson. He's Australian, but I'll take that.
Yes, yes. He's completely oblivious to that. Yes, or at least he wants you to think. Yes.
I love it.
Yes, Mel
So-
Gibson.
so yes,
Manchester United. Yeah.
The two of you will be John Wayne and Mel Gibson from now on. So you know.
Excellent.
So yeah, he'll pull up to there, and then he's done. But he's keeping his eye out for ways to get out and everything.
Excellent. Eric,
I love.
go ahead. I'll start.
I was just gonna say, Jeff. I don't know if you listen to the Advanced Age Role Players podcast, but Eastern European people calling Americans John Wayne's almost seems like a trope in Twilight 2000 at this point, because they had a
Oh,
guy.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They had this guy who was a Eastern European chav basically, and he would always call any American was John Wayne.
I have seen those
well,
before. Those.
I've never claimed to be original. Just forget where I got it from.
Oh
So,
no,
yeah.
it's I mean, if you're gonna call somebody by a recognizable American name, John Wayne's certainly the one.
That's okay. I think I've got a third name there for our new guy. So you know, we'll come to that when we come to it. But that's it. That's it for Sturkey.
Awesome. Well played, guys. I like it. So you guys are piled in the car. Eric, Max is. It's time to book it. The car pulls up to where you were roughly, and they've left. They're opening the door for you, I imagine, to get in. And just as you're reaching the car, Evan, you were looking out the back,
Yep.
and you see a tank
Oh, awesome.
rumble onto the street, and it seems to be a loner. Crashes onto the street. It's an American tank, and it's kind of smoking a little bit, and it's turning, and it stops and lurches, and there's all of a sudden there's a loud crack, and something hits the back of the tank sort of and ricochets off the armor, and the turret starts swiveling around, and it's swiveling towards you guys first because it was pointing south, but it's swiveling around at a clockwise way, and pardon me, I have to grab the tank a minute. So Evan, you look out the rear window and you're like, oh shit. Now the fact that it's an American tank doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna consider
it's
you
friendly.
friendly.
Yeah, it doesn't mean us driving a foreign Yugo. Doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna think we're good guys. So we should probably get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Quickly is a relative term when we're talking about a well-laden Yugo at this point. Probably.
Yeah, well, quicker than I can walk at least. So I'll take it.
Nice.
Start grinding gears.
While Darren's doing the tank, can I just? I'm having struggles moving my token. If I move my token the way I think it's meant to be done, everything seems to move. So I'm obviously doing something wrong. Does anybody know, or how have they moved their token?
I'm using the left mouse button to move my character. The right mouse button for me moves the scenery. Maybe it's reversed for you.
And part of the problems I'm having, everyone, by the way, is that when I reset everything, it sort of reset everything, and I'm like, oh, my files for my tokens. I'm like, where the heck did they go now? So bear with me. Go ahead, keep role playing. I'm listening and getting this sorted out.
The
No, see, I moved, just done it, and it worked, and now, no, it's not worked, has it? See, I'm moving the car as well, which doesn't make sense.
I think I was fighting with you over the car there. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, and my
Oh my god.
my right mouse button is just bringing up the.
That's frustrating. Yeah, fiddle with it for a bit.
I'm
I'll come and help in a minute. I'm just
struggling.
okay. This is frustrating too because
Struggling.
I had a hyperlink to this and it's gone. Okay, I know what I have to do. I got this. And sorry, yeah, I think the reason why is in Foundry. Okay, you have on the left you have the token selected. Make sure you're clearly on the one you want to move is the big thing. Right? And then
Token.
and for some reason don't hold down the shift until you've selected your token because else you'll just ping them. So you select your token and then hold down shift to drop it wherever you want. Does that help?
No.
Does anybody else having
I was going to say I wouldn't even hold down shift because if I try and do that, like if
Shift,
I click
I move my token.
Yeah, don't even hit shift, just click it and drag it. Is what works for me. If I hit shift, it doesn't do anything then.
So how are you dragging it?
I'm just like pulling my mouse to the direction that I want to go.
Left button down.
Yeah, I hold it down and then just drag it around.
Yeah, see, I'm doing that, but it's also moving the car as well.
Yeah, and I think I have an idea what happened there, and it's the way I got it linked. So what I'll do is I'm gonna erase your character and put it in the car, okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think part of it is because we're in the car now.
Yeah, and
okay.
That way I can you can drag your own character into the car. You just have to open up the car, and then you're already in there. But just so you know, you can always go to your character directory, and drag your character on anything.
Yeah, I gave that a shot, and maybe I was just doing it wrong.
Okay. In first session, guys, sorting out the logistics.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so there's the at least the token for an M1 Abrams over there.
Yeah. So it's not too far away. Can you see that? I think it's just on the edge of your. Oh,
Yeah, you
no,
just moved it out of
I did.
visual
Okay.
range.
It's right here.
Yeah, that's well within.
So,
Yeah,
Max, you get in the car too, I'm assuming, right?
Yep. And I my long lost friend Sergey. Hey man.
Uh, oh, you're a shooter. And he points to the guys laying on the ground, one still screaming from his busted kneecap. You shoot them, yes?
Yes,
You
we can talk about
you're
that later. Let's get out of here.
you're like Clint Eastwood, yes. All right, all right. And he grinds some gears and starts putting into gear. Doesn't sound
Okay.
very healthy. So.
Yeah. The old car lurches into motion. Now, I need you to give me a driving roll. And no modifiers at the moment. It's just a driving roll, and then I'm going to make, because the tank does spot you, and instinctually, you're probably not driving straight, serpentine a little bit, and you're booking. Now, you can see the map. Generally, you're going to try to get away from this tank, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that'd be the plan. How do I get to my character sheet now that I'm in the car?
You go to the actors directory,
Okay.
and in that
Come back.
2023
Actors.
campaign file,
Oh,
you'll
there it is.
find,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Got it. Here we go.
And you can double click the car and then click your character in the car, and you'll get your character as well.
All right. Here's the driving roll. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
No modifiers.
Oh, good. So you
One,
don't.
one success.
It's enough. Like you hit some craters and you just barely miss some wrecks, and oh my lord, you even jump the car a little bit over a bit of a barricade, sending a few more parts. You kind of cringe. Oh, Lucy or the Beast. I don't know what you name the car. I just call it the Beast for now, but. You guys managed to just come around the corner as this tank fires a shell down the street, and it arcs down, missing the car by a few meters, and you just managed to careen around the corner. And for the moment, we're out of combat, and we're now in the car, driving out of Kalitz, like making your way out of the fringe of the industrial zone, trying to keep the car on the road. It's a two-wheel drive, so it's not very good off-road, obviously. And so we're going to start the game now. We got out of Kalitz. Now, that could have went south with the two soldiers. If he would have missed, they would have fired back and so on. We could have had a little firefight. Just this game can really open up sometimes. He might have missed his drive roll there, and then the car might have wiped out, and you guys would have been on foot or something. So it depends how things go, right? So anyway, it's open door now. You guys are heading. I'm going to bring us to another map, and we're going to go to the shift mode. And if you click, let me bring you another map because it'll have the car on it as well. Unless when it reset, it didn't screw the pooch. Okay, you might see all black until I. Oh,
Yep,
shoot,
there we go.
I just moved the car. Pardon me. That's okay. You guys might have seen that. That's the direction you guys came. When you came to Kalitz, you actually crossed that river, and and that's where they jumped you. Can everyone see the map, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm
you.
not on it yet.
Yeah. I'll explain it briefly. You're in like central Poland, more or less. There's a big mountain range far to the south you know of. You know vaguely of some major city centers, but unless you guys know your geography real well of Poland, you don't have an idea really. You didn't have time to get maps and things unless your character has a map of Poland. So far, Sergei would probably have the best idea of the area. He's not native to this part of Poland though, so he's a bit in the dark as well, but he knows about major centers and things like that, okay? This is a big map. This is going to be your hex crawl map. So car, if you double click the car, you should get its stats. And under its stats, it has combat speed, travel speed. The travel speed is how far you can go in a shift. All right. The first number is on road. The second number is off road.
Okay.
So you're really slow off road. Your reliability number out of 5 is only 2. So and that will decrease as well the more you drive it and things happen. You'll have to repair it eventually or it falls apart. You're low on fuel. You only have I've 8 liters out of 40, and your fuel consumption is 1. And what that means is on road you can travel 2 hexes, off road you can travel 1 hex. Fuel consumption 1. Now if you're running on alcohol, which this car is, that's halved. So you guys can only drive for on road right now. You could drive 4 hexes. Do you follow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Off road, you would be down to 1 hex. And in the cargo, there is some food. I don't know if you want to carry your food, Sergey, or if it's in the car. You see a bunch of canned cabbages or something. In the cargo, you can drag stuff in there into the car, and there's a blanket in there. Hey, Sergey, you got a blanket. And combat, that's more pertains to armored vehicles, but that's where you'll see. Oh wait, it doesn't have it. The car's in a bit rough shape, but if it had armor, you'd keep track of armor there, and if it had weaponry like mounted machine guns and stuff, that's where that would go. Components, that tab is where you can see what stuff's on the vehicle.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So what I was going to do is before we move, you guys have left Kalitz. You're just leaving. So I'm assuming, do you guys want to stick to the road or do you want to go off-road? Because if you go on road, you're going to...
Hugo is not going to be great. Not going to be great to go off-road in.
No, stick to the road, and that'll get us further away.
Yep.
Yeah, we're trying to make speed and distance right now, I think. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Sergey is going to, of course, ask, where would Americans like to go? Sergey, glad to drive. Yes.
Where
Oh,
were
did you
you
get
heading,
any-
Sergey?
Oh, it's a long story, but away from guns is always good with Sergey, yes? Away from other guns, yes. Ones being shot, yes.
Yep, I agree. I agree, Sergey.
Sergey, do you know
Yes.
this area very well, or obviously you've been driving through, but
Yes, Sergey is not native, but Sergey can find the way. I believe out of character. I think there's a bridge, isn't there? Like a town with a bridge, like a few hexes down.
Give me a recon roll.
Right.
See what you remember, how much detail I'll give you. And you may even know about like factions and things, Sergey. You might even...
Character recon.
And also in the directory, that directory is very helpful for stuff. Like there's things in there.
nice.
Oh wow. So Sergey, you know that there's the town of Sirets. The town of Sirets is there, and there's the river, the Oder River, running north and south. But at this time, 95% of bridges are knocked out, or watched. If a bridge is intact, it's most likely, carefully guarded or watched. Just to let you know. There's other ways across the river, of course. So Serdets is up ahead, but Serdets is a hub point. And from there, you know that there are 4 roads basically going in the 4 directions of the compass, roughly. But one of them, the eastern road, does cross that river. And so that might not be an option. But there's an intersection. And as far as you knew, the military-minded know that the Soviets came across... Well, you're not quite sure if the Soviets will be there, actually. You don't have that intel.
Yeah, I mean
Sergey will relay what he knows to the others
It's raining.
oh,
in very animated English while waving his cigarette around. A little too closely for three guys crammed in there with him.
Awesome.
yeah, I mean I think it's going to be a
Yeah,
calculated risk if we go west or east rather, because we don't know where the Soviets are. Um, I think we're going to try and or want to try and make our way southwest as best we can. Um, because the Soviets are probably going to be pushing just straight west, and if there's mountains, that's not going to be real great for any mechanized forces to try and move through. So that might slow them down as well if they go that way.
Hmm. So you guys are rattling around, and you're following like a sort of a highway kind of road a bit, and weaving around some wrecks and craters. There's smoke plumes on the horizon. There's a distant sound of artillery, and my sound effects have all been kind of screwed around, so I can't deal with it for the moment. So just imagine
Theater of the mind.
theater of the mind behind you, but you distinctly hear to the north more sounds, right? Like there's still some lingering action happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and move the car into this hex here, and you guys leave the town following that road hex. So far, you're clear, and after around an hour of travel, I drew a card, by the way, and the encounter didn't fit for that scenario, so nothing happens. So an hour goes by, and feel free to interrupt or roleplay at any point. You guys, the car kind of smells like cigarettes, of course. There's probably butts all over the friggin' place, and wrappers and things, and you can see that Sergey's been living in this car for a while. There's a blanket in the back, is kind of what he uses when he sleeps in the car, in the rear seats. Um, and there's some colorful things. Sergey, I imagine you had like a crucifix or something, or the Virgin Mary on your dash sort of thing with a bobblehead maybe. Um,
Yeah, well, whoever had it before he stole it probably did. So yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if you're like Polish is very Catholic, so whether or not you
Well,
were
he's technically not Polish, but he can fake it. So
Eastern Orthodox, but
he's
the
something.
sure.
He believes in Sergey.
The car rolls on, and another hex, and
Jeff, I just have a image of Benny from the Mummy, where he's got like the Star of David, the crucifix, and then like the Buddhist symbol and the Islamic crescent, where he's just like whichever one's convenient
Yeah,
based on who
whatever
I'm
works.
around.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I
So there's
I
that's
I search in the footwell in the passenger seat and find a cigarette butt with some tobacco still left in it. It's been smoked. Put it between my lips. Turn over to face Sergey and ask him for a light. So Sergey, have you got a light for this? And where have you come from?
Yes, yes. Sergey will pull out a lighter and with one hand while driving with the other, and then he'll light it up. May make for a little bit of an unsteady moment there as the fire is waving right in front of your face, but he gets it there eventually. Yes, Sergey is from all sorts of places. Yes, yes. Sergey now he's here though. Yes, yes. You're from England, yes?
Yes, I'm from England. Where was the last place you were from then? Why were you driving
Oh,
through Calais?
long story was Sergey has been away for some time and has been away from a daughter and was trying to find her. Last place knew where her and mother was, but we got there and did not find. And then Russians come in, and it is not good thing. Lets himself look a little bit sad there and everything.
I
You from Poland?
Oh no, no, no! I came here many years ago. Uh, had to go away for work, and you know how it is. And wound up being stuck in war and had to make way back to a family. Yes, it's very sad. My daughter, here, here, here. And he puts away the lighter and tries to fish for his wallet, pats a few pockets, and yes, yes, and he pulls out a picture. Yes, this is her, my daughter. Yes, is Hannah. Hannah, beautiful girl. Yes,
Anna, she's beautiful.
yes. He's pictured from a few years ago. She is about 14 now. Yes, I've not seen in several years, and was hoping to find her, but not so far. But Sergey has hope. Yes.
And she's still with her mother, or you don't know?
Was with mother last I saw. Hope is still with mother. Hope are fine. Yes.
Mike kind of leans in from the back of the car and goes, "Poach, the fucked up thing is that cigarette's not the dirtiest thing I've ever seen put in your mouth. But you got any more up there?"
I take a big long drag off it, ensuring that there's some left, and just pass it behind me to him. Take some of that.
Perfect. He grabs it, just goes, Sergey, man, I'm sure your kid's still alive. Kids are resilient, especially teenagers. They're like cockroaches, or so I remember from my nephews. Um, you got any idea where she might go if she wasn't in Kalitz?
Uh, Sergey thinks about it and perhaps Krakow. Do not know exactly, but
Oh fuck.
yes. Hopefully not Warsaw. That would be most unfortunate. But Sergey thinks probably Krakow.
Now,
Well,
those of you
Poach,
know some rumors about Krakow. We'll get that in a minute. Sorry, go ahead.
Poach, what do you think,
But
man?
enough about me. How did you come to be all by yourself there? I've heard about the big battle, big fight with the Soviets. Yes.
I was
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to
we
be,
was involved in that.
yeah, that just wasn't quite how we expected it, but you know, that's intelligence for you.
Yes, intelligence. Intelligence always bad. Military intelligence even worse. Not what this phrase a contradiction in terms. Yes.
Usually, not everybody's Jack Ryan, unfortunately.
Yes. Jack Ryan. He looks really confused.
It's a book, never mind.
And
Harrison Ford movie,
oh,
Patriot Games, Hunt for Red October,
oh,
where
yes,
Sean Connery plays a Russian.
we have not gotten too many American movies around here, as you know. But like James Bond, you mean?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yes,
same guy.
England, James Bond, James Bond. Yes, Mel Gibson, James Bond. Yes, yes.
Now, there's a road sign that you noticed kind of teetering on one broken last leg, and the road sign says in Polish, Sierz and Toksal, which are the two towns that you can see on the map. So you're going to be coming upon, and it has little kilometer signs on it, 8 kilometers to Suradz, 11 kilometers to the other town to the south. And up ahead, you can see a bunch of smoke, though, up ahead on the road. And there must be a fork up ahead where the road splits north and south before if you go to the northern town, you'll notice that's the major hub. The southern town is the southern fork of the road. At this point, it's just two intersections, that's all. And so the car's coming up, and Sergey, you see this, and you might recognize even a bit, but you don't recognize the up ahead. You see a whole bunch of wrecks. Like, there were wrecks around, of course, and it's been a little lighter since you drove down the highway. But now you see up ahead is clearly has been a battle. Um, Probably just before the Battle of Kalitz, this was another battle that took place, and you don't see any activity at all. There's some old plumes of smoke, and you recognize new plumes because it has that black oil smoke. You know what I mean? Old plumes of smoke tend to be different colors and lighter and just kind of wispy as it's died down. So you recognize the after effects of a battlefield that probably took place a couple days ago. There are, as I said, numerous wrecks from various nationalities. And who is on recon? Now, when you take recon from a vehicle, you are -2.
I'll do that. I've got fairly decent recon.
And so anybody can be looking, but I only take one recon roll to spot things. Okay, so go ahead then if that's good. You give me a recon roll, and then could I get a driving roll from whoever's driving to cover the last couple hexes? And we're nearing the end of the shift, by the way. Okay, so and I started in the morning, just so you know, it's morning shift, and it's getting near noon now. And normally I have my little reminder up on the screen, and I'll have this sorted out everybody next week. I'm going to spend some time in Foundry getting everything reprogrammed.
Sorry, just with the specialities, does that automatically add your modifier when you make a roll on the skill?
It does into the roll window, but you may have to select it in the roll window if you follow. So when you go to do a skill, it'll actually, and sometimes it doesn't. I notice there's a couple it doesn't, and you may have to add +1.
Okay.
Just to let you know, yeah. Because you have the scout.
Is there a setting?
Yeah, it says infiltrator +1. Do I have to tick that box yet?
No, that's not for this one. Yeah.
Quick question. I'm not seeing my rolls in the roll window. Is there something I need to set in order to see them? I'm seeing other people's, just not mine.
No, I see yours. You just have to look in the chat message in the directories. Was that Jeff?
Yeah, yeah, it's Jeff.
Yeah,
I'm just not seeing them. It's weird. I can see my text messages. I can see everybody else's rolls.
Can anyone else see Jeff Barnes? He's got driving roll.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, that's weird. I'll figure it out. Thanks.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so with your recon roll, now he actually failed his drive roll. Do you want to push that? I hope everyone.
Yeah, probably for the best if I do.
Now, to warn you, you got a 1 with the 1 die, so I don't think it re-rolls ones. It might, though.
Yeah, you can't re-roll that one.
It'll automatically do it. You just have to hit the push, but you don't see that, do you?
No, I don't see it at all. So.
That's really odd.
I just need to roll. What would I need to roll then? What die did not?
Well, we have to fix this because you're for sure looking in the directory under chat messages. I can see you rolling under the. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm on chat messages. I can see where you put in the name of the city. I can see where I was typing before that.
Okay.
And then I can see the shots that were taken earlier, but I just can't see my rolls. It's weird.
Yeah.
It might just need to update.
You know what I might think it is?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't know.
I think it's because you have the Yugo selected instead of your character. Now that might be a stretch because it says Yugo under your rolls.
Okay.
So go into your character and just as an experiment. Yeah, I'm just curious to see if that's the.
That's happened with mine as well.
I'm still not seeing, so it's weird. Well, I'm not going to stop the game for you. I'll figure it out eventually.
That's frustrating. Okay.
I'm just Googling or something. Figure it out.
And everybody, it's been about a year since I've ran a game in Foundry, and a lot's changed. I've noticed, and I thought I was gonna. Anyway, I'll get it sorted out. We're doing great. So we'll make best. So what you have to do is basically roll a 8-sided die and get a success if you want to push that roll. Because you got a 1 on your base die or on your skill die, and you got a 4 with your. Oh wow. So we've suffered a mishap here, a driving error. So I'm gonna roll. Yeah, that wasn't good. So let me get
those 2 ones.
Now, yeah, he got a 1 again.
Yeah. I will go ahead and warn y'all. The other game I played in Thursday night, I was taking a shot sniping, and I rolled 5 times, and 4 of them were ones on d12s. So
Ooh.
I'm getting all my bad luck out now. So,
There we
so,
go. So Sergey, let's see what happens here, because something will have to. Okay, can you see what happened there in the?
I do.
Yeah, blown tire,
Okay.
thrown track. Yeah. Just can't see
And
myself.
the vehicle cannot move any further. Fixing the problem requires a tech roll and spare parts. And it's going to take basically a part of a shift. Anyway, we'll deal with it. Suddenly, the car lurches sideways, and you just manage to, I'm going to drop the reliability rating to 1 on the car. That's what happens as well. Or actually, it's 0. Pardon me. The reliability goes to 0 now. And the car careens aside, and you're on rim on your one of your front tires. And the car lurches aside pretty well as you were just getting into this battlefield zone, as you were just getting in it. And it was going to get tricky to get through it, you realize. And there might be dangers. Your recon roll, you got 1 success when you rolled way back. And so you didn't spot anybody amongst the wreckage of the battlefield yet, but you're in a car, and it's stopped now. And Sergey, so I'll let you guys begin now. You're suddenly lurched to an end, and you can smell the smell of a battlefield, an old battlefield, of course, and it's still raining. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to do.
Darren, did you say how far we are from the wrecks?
You're close. You're probably just starting to enter the area, the battlefield zone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, on the fringe. And the battlefield zone kind of covers the intersection. You see they had a big scrap over this intersection.
Okay. Mike, how about you go and try and find a tyre within the wreckage, and Max, you give Sergey a hand taking the wheel off. That needs to come off anyway.
Excellent. And you know what? This brings up a logistical thing I have to show you guys. If you go to your, your actors directory, where your characters are, you should be able to see the tent with the Motley Squad.
Okay.
If you open that up, you'll see that the party's in there, should be in there already.
Got it.
And if you hit the travel actions tab in that file, it'll open up the shift organizer.
Oh, okay.
This is very interesting, this one. I have to drag one more character into here. Who am I missing? Poach.
Ronnie. Ronnie's down under fishing.
Oh, he's down fishing. Okay, got it. Okay, so I'll bring him back into here. All right, so you look around this. Some of you I've shown this already. Some of you haven't seen it maybe. Whatever. You have all the options here, and if you're in the player's guide, under your options for what you can do in a shift, you have all the things. You can fish, you can scrounge, you can forage, you can repair, you can sleep, of course, you can prepare food. There's a whole bunch of things you can do in a shift, and it generally takes the whole shift, unless in certain circumstances, if you get a critical success, I may say that you still have time, or you produce twice as much of something, if you follow. If you get a critical failure, I might indicate that you fell in the lake and you got hypothermia when you're fishing, or stuff like that. Okay? It's wise always to have somebody keeping watch, but that's up to you, of course. And you will have to you'll have to drink something, eat something, and sleep every day, every 4 shifts, or you'll suffer the consequences of hypothermia and so on, dehydration. And those add up, those effects, of course.
Yeah, it generally means you can't heal.
Yeah.
And other bad stuff.
Oh, okay. Let's take a short break, everybody.
Sure.
Buddy's here. He just popped by to grab a couple things, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Awesome job. Okay. Let's have a look here. Got my coffee. Cool. Yeah, I gotta get my sound effects organized again.
It's always nice when they push an update on you and it breaks everything.
My fault too, though. I didn't notice it until like an hour, or no, actually just before the game. Even I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta restart it, and none of my mods are going. And
Lovely.
but I think I'm getting the hang of it back again. So, and like I said, it's been a while since I ran a game in Disc Foundry, but it is handy.
Yeah, it does a
Mhm.
lot of the bookkeeping for you, which is nice.
Now, two people can't scrounge in the same hex, but one can help the other. Just so you know, only one person can do one thing in a hex, a shift.
Oh yeah.
Just bear that in mind. And at the moment, you're kind of full health, full like we're all going to be starting fresh. Sometimes
Right.
the last game I started, we actually rolled to see if we were wounded and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a bit hardcore, but it was fun too. But this one I decided
Well,
let's.
it makes it injects another element of randomness into it.
Yeah. Well, and who knows? Like just meeting those two Soviet soldiers, that could have went sideways. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
this game, whew, they all of a sudden start shooting you up or shoot the car.
Yeah. It went about as well as it could have been expected to. That's
Oh,
for sure.
well, they botched their recon as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. And he got his recon, of course, so he spotted them first, and
Right.
they were
Well, and
scrounging
he rolled
through.
really well.
Yeah, yeah, and so he could just line them up, and that's the way the game is. If you can line someone up, like ducks, it's not long range or anything. They're just.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it gets nasty real quick.
Ooh, in a flurry of I don't know how many bullets he even used for that shot. I should take a quick look. It automatically tallies it and stuff. So I'm just curious. Probably it's rate of fire 3 on that M16.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should refresh the. Oh, I'll leave that. So yeah, so pick your best scrounger sort of thing, but you want to have somebody watching all the time. I'd recommend. It's always a drain on resources, but pretty dangerous not to keep an eye out. Because what we're doing now is that we're on the second shift now. It's the afternoon is starting, and so you have to decide what you're going to do in this shift. We're no longer zipping down the road, so if you decide to walk, you can go. You can walk 2 hexes in a shift on road, and 1 off road if you're walking.
Okay.
So you really slow down, of course, but your recon improves and so on, right? And cars are targets.
Right. It's true.
You'll notice Sergey did a good job actually making sure the muffler was pretty quiet, even though it's strapped on with duct tape or whatever.
Where am I
He's
going?
a survivor.
So's the Yugo.
Indeed. Running
Hugo's
on.
probably more of a survivor. Hugo's probably the biggest survivor in this group, so if it's still around.
Yeah, right.
Now, so to fix the Yugo, you have to find parts, and you have to make a successful tech roll over a shift. Fixing the rim and stuff, and like, it was a pretty bad blowout, and brought the reliability to 0. For every success you get on the tech, you could raise the reliability number, right?
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could.
Sergey's got actually has scrounging and has pretty good for everything. So
Okay.
probably
Nope.
So you
Sergey's
could.
roll.
So you can pick one. So if somebody's going to be scrounging for the parts, then right? Sergey, I'm not sure what you want to do. If you can help him, give him a +1, or you can do something else. Max, Eric, are you there still? he's been patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, Eric? we'll get his.
Because I can't do anything.
Yeah. So we got a new shift coming up, and Max has to decide if he wants what he wants to do, what role he wants to take. Now, in a shift, you can do things like you can make a camp or go hunting or forage or fish, etc. Right? Do Overwatch, sleep.
Well, there's 5 of us. Some suggested I give my buddy a hand a tire on that if somebody else watch.
So if somebody successfully finds a part, then somebody else can make a tech roll to fix the car. So do you have tech? I recall you did, right? Yeah, he's actually really handy. Yeah, he's really good with tech. Max is actually a bit of a mechanic type. So I could put that under, we'll use the driving for now. They don't actually have a tech option here. I'm looking. I guess it would stay under other. Ronnie, Poach, what are you doing this shift? We got Bad Karma keeping watch. Sergey's scrounging.
Nick, you're still on mute. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
intentional or not.
And of course, in a shift, I draw a card.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry. Just go through what the other guys are doing. I've just been I just dropped off for about 5 minutes.
Sergey's gonna scrounge. I'm keeping watch right now. I think Max is kind of waiting to see if we can find the part so he can fix the car.
Oh, okay. I thought okay.
Sergey's actually really good at scrounging, so he's probably, and only one of us can scrounge in a particular hex each shift, so he'd be better at finding stuff at least than I would. I don't know if you want to help him scrounge,
Yeah,
because
I
that
will
proves.
give him. I will give him. I will go with him and at least give him some sort of support if he needs it.
Yeah, I think that's a solid plan.
Okay.
Sergey can always use someone to talk to, yes? Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me tell you a story.
We can talk about the royal family.
Yes, Mel Gibson. Come here, come here. Yes.
So, shall I go into scrounging then?
Yep. Pardon me, I put you back. Sorry, that's a good call.
That's cool.
Now, there's a number of things that happen. So you go off in various ways, and this takes time. And you have to. This game sort of is a bit abstract. You have to realize that this is going to be hours going by. And so if something happens, it could happen quite a distance into the shift. Okay, and you just have to envision the shift work like that. So some hours are ticking by, and during this time, Max is sort of keeping an eye out as well, and he's working on the car. So I'm going to give him a tech roll to see if he can actually get the car ready. And as he's doing this, I'll do a tech roll to see if he can actually start fixing it. And even
Yeah, I'd say you did okay.
he's doing quite well. If you guys get the part, the car will be fixed. Like he just has to get the. He says, "I need a couple of these, whatever."
Some blinker fluid and a bucket of threads.
Yeah, and yeah, an air nozzle cap or something. It's like, oh, okay. So he did well, and so Sergey, you give me a scrounge roll and add +1 for Ronnie's aid, and any other, if you're a scrounger, you get your bonus as well. And now you see that there's potential gold mine. If you're searching for parts to fix a car, I'm going to give you +1 if you go in amongst the wrecks. And if you stick to the civilian vehicles, or even there's a few civilian vehicles. Sure. So I mean, in this circumstance, you're +1. Anyway, actually, you prefer to stick to civilian vehicles. I'm assuming. Actually, where do you go?
And then he gets scrounger.
Okay, this is important. Do you go in amongst the armored vehicles, or do you stick to civilian vehicles?
Oh, yeah, he's going to stick to civilians right now. At least as long as the others can see him. If he had a chance to go in and maybe find a few goodies, he would. But I have a feeling that everybody's probably keeping an eye on him right now.
Okay,
So we'll stick to civilian, I guess, for right now. See what happens.
okay, I got that. You are there is a lot of background
Can you hear me?
interference,
Sorry.
but I did get that, I think, more or less. So civilian vehicles, so you won't get the +1 just because there's way less of them. I'm going to say you had to walk a ways out. Do you still want to do that? You get +1 if you want to go into the armored vehicles. But I
No,
I
I'll
think you
stick to the civilian vehicles for right now, I guess. Well,
gotcha.
Go ahead, sorry.
So go ahead. Did you roll your scrounge? And add 1 for Ronnie's help. He's with you. And that's kind of
ooh,
nice.
Still can't see it, but I assume that was pretty good.
You
you
got
got
a
2 successes.
crit. So you find you can uh, roll a 4-sided. If you yeah, dice tray there. Okay, you find 2 parts, but you also find, and I'm just looking quickly for the scrounge table. Counters, travel, hunting components. Give me 1 second. It's got to be here somewhere. Roll 100-sided for me. And let me know what you got. I'm just looking up. You managed to
6.
find a couple other things amongst the cars. You've come across some vehicles that are long destroyed. These are long time ago, not part of this battle.
Yeah, y'all are going to have to let me know what I got. So.
Yeah, yeah, that is annoying, isn't it? You got an 86. Wow, what page? It's in the referee's manual. They got a page. Darn it. That has the chart. Oh, it's been a while since I've done that.
86 would be a trombone.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, I don't know if any of you musically inclined or if that's a thing of value you want to take, but in one of the cars, it's sort of poignant, I suppose, and quite sad. But a workable trombone. Oh,
Is it type?
so you guys head back. You got some stuff. you're you're actually carrying. You found a tire, and you head back, and you're walking back to the crew. Mike, could you make a recon roll, or have you rolled that already?
Nope, not yet. I was
Gotcha.
waiting to 2 successes.
So in the time in recon, I envision often that you might move around. You're not sitting in one spot, right? Unless
Yeah, just kind of generally watching obvious avenues of approach, anything that looks out of place. Um, not trying to move too often so that somebody who's watching us would notice, but um, it's probably going to be the best option.
right. Now, not saying that if you want to post up somewhere as a sniper or something, that works as well, and so on. But you have some time, so yeah, you're keeping an eye out, and you see coming back from their foraging or scrounging. You see your 2 buddies coming back, so that's good. You see Max underneath the car. He's kind of greasy. His hands are dirty. He's been getting everything ready. And he's like, there, that's all I need is them to come back with that tire, right? And we'll have it on there in a moment or two.
Yep, they're taking.
You see an explosion, or you hear an explosion. Pardon me.
Okay.
And it's a ways off. It's you can if you think that the intersection's probably about a kilometer ahead or so, right? And the explosion you sense. Now this one sounded pretty close and fresh. Like the battlefield's a bit distant at this point. You guys have traveled about 40 kilometers or so, and so there's not like everything going off if you follow. But this was all of a sudden, boof! This new explosion goes off, and it seems to be down the intersection to the left, which would be the northeast of your position. Your recon roll is really good, so you really pinpointed it well, and you sense that it's probably about could have been on the road that was, the T intersection would have been to the northern fork. The explosion came from the north.
All right. Yeah. So in the general direction of Surad's.
Now, would you be in a position as well, Mike, that you'd heard enough explosions and things like that? You had a good recon roll. You could even recognize that it didn't sound like artillery.
Okay.
And
Does it sound like it's similar heavy caliber, or like a lighter heavy weapon, like
you didn't hear two
anti-tank rocket?
pops, so you didn't hear like a gun shooting and then an explosion. You know what I mean? A cannon and then fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
This tells you it's either could be a mortar,
Okay.
could be a mine. Those are around, just so you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And so it's just so you know. Okay, I'm just giving a few tidbits. You made a good roll.
All right. Yeah. I haven't seen any obvious movement then, have I, during this time?
Do you have binoculars?
I do not. Although Ronnie might have loaned me his while he was scrounging or something like that.
Okay,
I have no binoculars.
Oh, you don't have binoculars? I thought somebody had them.
No,
But
Max.
no, somebody took them from the
I
team.
think Max does.
Yeah.
Yes, Max has binoculars, so he could lend them to you if you were watching. He's was there by the car and stuff. So
okay.
I'll assume he just said, "Here, take these." All right, Eric. So you're looking to the binoculars, and now you can see a fresh plume of smoke suddenly emerge, like after about a couple minutes goes by, and you're looking through the binoculars, and all of a sudden, yep, it zeroes back, and you didn't see that before because you were looking over there.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna make my way back to the car and say, how's it going, guys? We're it's getting a little hot around here.
And Max gives you a thumbs up, and he says, "Look," and you see the guys. At this point, you guys have reached the car. We'll say, okay, and you're bringing back the stuff, and you've got a hand signal that, and you guys might have heard the explosion, but you weren't watching and listening, so you didn't know where it was. You couldn't tell with the forests and the plains. Sometimes it's like that, right? It just echoes, boom, and it had that nature.
Well, explosions are never good, so either way, we want to keep an eye out for anything that might be coming our way, either retreat or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's your guys' call. You put the tire on, and so the shift is rounding up. It's been about 3.5, 4 hours, and it'll take you minutes to put the tire on. You've gotten 2 new reliability factors on the car. You've actually done a bit extra work. You got that successful technical roll there, Eric. And I realize, Eric, you're being very patient and stuff. The next time, guys, he's going to have his computer fixed, and he'll be with us and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and his character is pretty cool, too. So he's just been very patient and listening and such. I imagine, and I think he's at a bar or something. So
Hey, with some of the way we might roll, it might come in handy for him to have a drink handy.
So I'll let you guys talk. What you want to do next? We're coming upon a new shift now. So the car starts up, boom, and Sergey or Eric gives a thumbs up. Max to Sergey. There, I got her going, and actually I found there was some. I even patched up your shock there a bit. It should be a bit more smoother.
All right, guys, what do we want to do? We got somebody to the north. It could just be some unlucky sap triggering a mine or something, but um, we got a perfectly good urban area to the south. It looks like that we don't necessarily think we'll run into bad guys.
You know,
Yeah,
we still have pretty good.
yeah, I'm thinking about going to the that southeast um, urbanized area.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we still need some distance between us and the front.
yeah, I totally agree with that. So I think we'll be taking a right at the fork as opposed to
Yeah,
investigating the nasty noises coming from the north.
yeah. Get there. It might be quiet, and we can have a face to face with each other and get to know each other and have a bit of a admin period if it was.
Right, and some sleep.
Yeah.
N-
Do we need to delete food and water?
Not yet. That'll happen in
Okay.
the last shift of the day.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry. Yeah.
Actually, we should get in the habit of. You guys want to do it every morning or every evening? I'm not sure if it matters.
I think we might as well just do it in the evening at this point since we've already gone past
Yeah.
the
Now you don't have to all
I'm
sleep
not a
at once
breakfast
either.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
right, right.
You're also assuming we're going to have time in the evening to do it, so you
Well,
never
I
know
mean,
what's
you
gonna
can
you never know
always.
what's gonna happen.
That's true. I'm thinking more for the food and water. Um, but yes, that's a fair point. Um, I don't know if somebody wants to ta take a nap while we're driving, since we don't need four people driving and four people looking. Um, we can certainly,
Um, I'll stay awake and stay in the front, keeping a lookout. And
Nice.
Mike and Max, if you want to get your heads down. Sergei, you still okay to? Well, it's your car anyway, but you crack on driving.
Oh, Sergey would be fine with Americans driving, yes, but Sergey glad to drive always.
yeah, I'll close my eyes then and just kind of settle back into the rear of the car and just yell up front, hey, if you guys need me, let me know. And puts his hat over his eyes and tries to get some sleep.
Does anyone else have driving, by the way? Even a D?
Not me.
You can still roll with
No.
a agility roll. Now I want to
Yep.
give your fuel light comes on.
Mm,
Yeah, we probably should have had a look for some fuel as well.
right. Theoretically, I
Yeah,
still have
completely forgot about that.
some group gear to take, and I was thinking about doing fuel because I knew we didn't have that much, but
Ooh.
we'll kind of deal with that later.
And it's
Um,
cramped in this car with the
Well,
four of you, eh? It's kind of
yeah,
loaded down.
yeah. Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. Is
I
like, all
mean,
right, well, I
you can
can't
put
really
stuff
see
on the
running
roof.
away from. Well, and I was gonna say I can't really see somebody running away from battle with two jerry cans in their hands and, uh, you know, trying to make off with that when they're probably gonna have to shoot at
It's
people.
gold though. It's gold. He's running.
Gold, Jerry, gold.
Indeed. All right, so I got a new map here, folks, and I've just adapted it. Up ahead is the intersection where you can turn.
Yeah.
You see it coming up. There's a, I guess, I don't know, I'm relying on a lot of roadside still standing, but you see another one, and it's up ahead. You have to turn right, and then you go down that road, or you can go sort of straight, but that road does turn north. If you follow, that explosion you heard would have been probably about here.
Mm, okay.
Okay, and so you could
I'm gonna suggest that big house.
there is a big house there. Oh no, his laptop's dying. By the way, if you hold down the shift key when you're on the Yugo and you use your scroll wheel, you can spin it around and stuff too, right?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if you intended to do that or if you're pointing it and stuff. I guess that's fine. I can get a kayak icon.
Most agile that UO has ever been for taking corners. So.
That's right. Indeed. But the fuel light comes on. Now, from now on, for every hex you go, you have to make a roll, and it gets harder and harder because you'll just run out of fuel really quick. You might be able to go another hex, you think. Um, so I'll bring us back to the other map just real quickly. Just to get us, now let me see what you guys see. Okay, all right. So we're back here, right? So in other words, you could go to the town to the south, and on maybe the remainder of the fuel. I don't know if I doubt you'll get much further because you're at -2 after that every time. Or you can go anywhere you want. But I'm just thinking a moment. Yeah, no, that's a bit stretch actually. You won't make it there. You'll have to. Oh, pardon me. The intersection goes into that town if you follow me, right?
Yep.
Right there. So you can make it into this town, and you'll probably run out of fuel. You might make it another hex. You have one more hex to go without, and then you have to roll. You have
Shall we go to the
two
northern town
liters left
first?
in the tank. Sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you.
That's okay. Shall we go for the northern town first then?
Yeah, if we got better chance of scrounging there, then let's go for it.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's not quite getting away from the battle, but it's no good if we're on foot going south. It's going to be as slow as.
Yeah, we'll just have to be careful because that's where the explosion came from.
Yeah. There was on the other map. If we even if we park up, there was a farm just before a wooded area. If we can park up, maybe there, a couple of us can go on foot and try and wreck it
Oh,
where the explosion was, and there was a large house
oops.
um, just to the north of the explosion, which might be a good place to hide up.
Oh shit! Sorry guys, I got the wrong.
If we cam up the car and leave it, I'll I'll explain that when the other map comes up.
All right.
Okay, it should be going now. Pardon me, guys.
Are you talking about that almost
No, he meant this.
M-shaped or the big mansion style one at the
Oh,
fork itself?
you've got the mansion which is just north of where I believe the explosion was.
Right.
But if you go west, there's a farm
Yeah, the
to
kind
our
of
left as we come up that road.
the
We've got a
upside
sort of
down U
farm complex.
shaped,
Yeah, is it?
kind of an
Yeah.
upside down. The red
If
roof,
we
the one
park
with the
in,
red roof.
yes, that's right. Yeah. If we park in there
Yeah.
and cam the vehicle up, and then we can do a foot recce through the wooded area and see if we can get eyes on where the explosion was and that large house.
Yeah, I think that's golden.
Unless anybody's got any other ideas.
Let's see here.
I just think the car's quite a good asset, and I think it's nice to keep it out of the way, keep it hidden, and obviously we won't make as much of a footprint on foot rather than being in a car.
Right. Um, I don't know if Poach, maybe you want to take that northern route um, through the wooded area down to the mansion, and either I or if somebody else wants to come with me, I can roll south to the little river, the wooded river area, and there's that little outcropping of um, woods to the southeast that reaches up to the road. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
And that's got a good a field of view for those fields and a halfway decent view of the house. It's through some woods, obviously, but it might be useful to have somebody down there just to be able to have a little bit longer range view.
Yeah, happy for that. Just be aware if we're splitting groups. At the moment, we don't have any comms, so are
Right.
we going to use passwords and or signs for IDing each other
Hold on.
before we do move out?
Let's see here.
So not much time has passed. Actually, you're all talking, conversing quickly, and Sergey's nodding. so, and I sort of wasn't really paying attention there. I was doing a lot of things. So let me know your final decision in a moment. I've been kind of picked up a few things that you decided that you were going to go to the town first, and then that would take you,
Yeah.
as far as you know, past the explosion, and which was on the road. You don't see a way immediately to get around that. I mean, you would have to backtrack if you follow and take another hex,
Right.
potentially.
Yeah, I think our plan is at the moment, unless somebody's got another idea, is we're going to go into the farm complex, which is just forward left of where our vehicle is, just before the wooded area,
Drive into it.
and then
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna then well, we'll have to search that farm complex, I'd imagine, and then cam up the vehicle, and then we're gonna split off north and south of the road, heading towards the explosion.
Hmm.
Myself's going to go north into the wooded area to where the large, let's call it a mansion, large building is, and I believe Mike and another are going to go south into the wood line where the wood line from the north from the south converges with the just about to the east of the
Yeah.
junction.
Yep. Nick
Got
Nick
Roger.
named it.
Uh,
Uh,
we're just discussing passwords and IDing each other because we're splitting up groups.
Poach, why don't both of the guys go with you? Because like the boonie that Mike is wearing, if he flips it inside out, there's actually a small orange day glow panel in there. Um, Usually it's so that,
Okay.
friendly air doesn't blow him up, but
Yeah.
um, you can kind of just put that on if stuff starts to go bad so that you guys can see where he is. Obviously, the bad guys will be able to see it too, but I'll be shooting at them, and um, at least I won't have both guys or both of you guys shooting at me in
Yeah.
that situation.
Awesome.
Sergey, are you going to stay? Are you staying with the car? Is Sergey here? No, I think
I think
it's
his laptop died.
Yeah, he had to. He was going to plug it in. Um, okay. Well,
And Max. Is Max about? Is he gone?
no, he's still here. And he's been listening off and on, I'm sure, and kind of wishing he was directly in participating. But I'm assuming he'll follow up. He excels at just. We didn't really introduce our characters formally. So while you were driving down the road, you got to kind of know each other and might have talked about a bit. I've served. I'm in this unit and so on, right? Um, if you don't mind me taking a few liberties, Eric. He's a captain rank. Max Rokotansky is his name. I'm not sure his call
Yes.
sign yet. He's Max. Call him, I suppose. U.S. Army, kind of.
He should be Mel Gibson.
That's right. He, um, you can sense from him a sense of polish. Actually, he's the way he talks. He's educated. He is actually a musician, and when you brought that trombone back, he was impressed, and not that he plays trombone, but um, he said, "Oh, cool." Anyway, he's an officer. He served in Germany. He mentions he happens to speak German, and he met Sergei. Well, Sergei can explain how they kind of met. Did we go over that a bit, Jeff? We talked about that a bit, right? And um, they met in Germany. Max was in a sort of phase where he was left the military and he was in Idle Rich. It's actually in the alternate careers. He found one called Idle Rich. And
That's
during that,
awesome.
yeah, and he for 2 years he was idle rich, living off of an inheritance, and he hooked up with Sergei and they partied in Germany. And
I love it.
it just worked out. Yeah, when me and Max spent like 2.5 hours making his character a while
Oh
back.
my god.
And I was like, well, how you connected Sergey? I thought about it, and he's like, oh, you're idle rich in Germany? Well, Sergey's been smuggling stuff across the Iron Curtain. So he's this mysterious guy. He chain smokes, and has weird stuff, caviar and vodka and contraband.
Oh, you're rich? I like money. That's a perfect pair.
Exactly. So you hooked up, but you buddied, though, in a way, right? You really connected. You got in a bit of trouble, ended up in the drunk tank sort of thing, chasing skirts and partying in Germany in the 80s or early 90s, right, before it all broke out. So it was a lot of fun making his character as well. It's an interesting character. He started out as an affluent child, so he came from a rich family, and his background, he filled it in really cool. Then his parents died, and when he was in the military, so he said screw it, and he left the military and became an idle rich. Anyway, I'm going to take a short bio, everybody. We'll be right back. I'm having a blast. We'll keep going for as long as we can, and people can play. All
All
right?
good.
Thanks. Awesome.
Yeah,
All
cool.
right, see you in a minute.
Um,
Okay, hold on a sec. I'm still here. I'm just in the other room quickly. Yeah, so some interesting characters in this group. I'm really enjoying them.
Oh yeah, dude. Sergey so far, I'm loving. And,
Oh, he's
yeah, Sergey's good.
and yeah, and you know what? He's a good asset. Like the way I play
oh
this
yeah,
game, your backgrounds are big, and he speaks Polish, and right?
so Jeff said originally, it's nice to have a thief in the party.
Yeah, they have a real important purpose. Um,
Yeah, he'll be able to get us out of some pretty dire situations, I'd imagine.
I'm sure.
yeah,
Obviously, it's good to have guys like Poach too, who can murder their way out of situations too when we can't talk our way out as well. But uh, you know, it's always nice
Not
to
all
see a
guns
good
and
mix.
bullets, though. Yeah.
Because if everybody plays the same character, it's you start stepping on each other's toes, or um, the
Yeah. Everybody
options you
wants to do
have.
the same thing.
Right, right.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I like the different motivations, and you compromise. Like I heard you guys earlier talking about his daughter and Krakow, and then um, tactically, you know that to the north there was a lot of nukes used in the north, particularly, and they were used all around. Don't get me wrong. Some cities have disappeared. Warsaw is a big radioactive wasteland. Krakow is an exception as far as when the last time Sergei was in Krakow. I'm not sure how long that was, but it was a city ruled by, well, gangsters and opportunists, and but it was functioning in a way. It was a place of refuge if you could survive. There were people there and resources, but and it was an open city.
Hmm. Yeah, that's somewhat rare at this point, I imagine,
The rumors
that
say,
there's
yeah.
a city that's functioning well enough that people can actually go there and not immediately get shot.
Yes. I'm gonna bring your characters onto the screen, and oh, see now it's doing
There
that
we go.
again, bugger. Okay, it might have switched some. See, it's Foundry has switched the
Icons.
icons on me. Was that part of the upgrade? Oh shoot! And well, for now, pardon me, everyone. I hope you don't mind for the moment. We'll just go with that. Um, I didn't put them in the right places though, so you might want to switch around. Don't forget you can scroll in or out with your character at any time. You know, because this map is a big map. Um, each hex roughly is still 10 meters. Okay.
Okay.
And I just need to shrink up a couple characters here. There, that's a bit better. So you guys get out of the car. Oh, you were going to move the car. Okay, bear with me a minute. So you drove up. You didn't get out there. Yeah, you drove into this farmyard. Okay, and you got out in this compound, you know, all SWAT-like or whatever, and covering each other. Give me a recon roll. Anyone who wants to take that roll. You're all looking, but you get one roll for the troop.
Yeah, I'll go for that. I've got a decent one.
And actually, everybody can give me a recon roll and let me know if you get a double crit, meaning if you get 3 hits or better. But I'm still taking your roll for the primary recon. But was that okay? I'll take a quick look. Nick got 2 threes. You can't push these. These are just passive recons, in a way.
That was pretty poor.
So Nick didn't get a success, so that's him. Now I'll roll for Max. You can double click your character in map, it'll pop him up as well. Just he can't get 3 successes, he only has 1 die, so.
All right. Well, I got 2. So
Actually,
no double crit.
no, actually just a crit would work. Pardon me. I was just thinking that's a extreme. A crit would work. A crit's a crit.
Yeah, do anything roll for me. So,
Yeah, I did, and you didn't get a success, Max. Pardon me. But Evan,
but yeah, not Max.
you did see, and you're lucky you guys didn't drive down the road because you see the telltale signs of mines.
Ooh. All right, yeah, guys. Road's mine. So where there's some on the road, there's probably some off road. We got to be careful here.
So when you go into that field, you want to do check for mines as you go into it to see if it is mined. You can make I think it's a tech roll. Or actually, that's a good. Or is it recon? Does anyone know offhand?
I would say it's probably recon. Tech would probably be more for like disarming it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's true, true.
yeah.
And okay, so anybody, if you want to do that, so you split into your two troops as the same as well, or stick together for the moment, and you
Yeah,
should be able to move
Well,
your icons.
if you check north, the southern field, Mike, and
yep.
I'll check the northern field, which would
Is,
make sense.
is Max going with the north or south squad?
I think he's coming with me, the north.
Okay. So he nods to
Um,
you and checks his weapon. So Eric, do you want to say anything? I've been kind of scripting you. I'm sorry if you chime in if you want anytime if you're there.
With my computer being down and you taking control, I'm enjoying listening and learning. Uh, yeah, I'll follow and let's go.
Oh,
At least I can disarm him.
yeah, and it's not too bad. You're coming in fairly clear, Eric. So you can cut in, and again, you're a trooper. I appreciate it. I'm trying to envision because I kind of got to know your character when we made him. That's why I do it with people, right? And so uh, he seems very reliable. This Max guy. You may have seen him in a unit or something in the battles and wars previously. Wow, Nick.
I
poor,
got
poor.
lucky. Um, I got an 11.
Oh, for checking mines.
Yeah, to make sure I don't blow my foot off.
Okay. So far, now you're Evan, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This field down here is mined. And you see Rex up ahead. You see that there was some sort of column coming down the road, and it suddenly got either ambushed or ran in mines. It all spread out, tried to find alternate roads. You could see as they all blew up and hit mines, and basically, and then the rest, you're not sure exactly what happened. Some were taken out by other means, but this field is mined.
So, uh, being that I found some mines, are these mines anti-tank mines or are they anti-personnel mines? Is it a mixture?
A Let me roll a card here. If it's a mixture.
Okay, shit.
No, okay, so yeah, you may okay. Go ahead. You haven't stepped on one yet.
I was just gonna say, if they're anti-tank mines, we don't really need to worry about that because those need like 500 pounds of pressure
Right.
before they'll go off. They're not meant for people, but clearly somebody was expecting a mechanized force that was going to dismount and then they'd pop the guys once they got out of their vehicles. So,
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you notice now also there's tracks and things of previous tanks that have been here and in these woods and stuff that have been part of an ambush but have moved on or whatever are gone.
okay. Um, I will follow the tracks as best as I can because obviously anything that they ran over is
Hmm.
either a dud or
There's a
just
wreck
isn't.
here in the field, and you can follow
Okay.
the tracks of that wreck if you wish.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay. And who's with you?
I think it's just going to be me because I'm the only guy that has um, a way to identify myself without us having radios.
So I'll move you if you don't mind where you're following the
Yeah,
tracks. Now you're a bit exposed in this field, and the rain is
right.
affecting visibility, but um,
Oh,
you're
I'm keenly aware.
you're moving quick then I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to cross this as if there's a way over to the woods to the south. Um, although no, I take that back
You
because they're not going to be.
you could branch off, but you'd have to cross the
Yeah, but
minefield.
it's not. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Um, I'll just keep following the tracks as best I can.
All right. So I'll get back to the rest of you guys in a sec. As you see him take off, he gives you a nod and he goes, "I'll meet up with you" or whatever, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'll
well,
I'll see you guys over there. Just watch your asses.
where was your rendezvous point, by the way? Where was the designated rendezvous? Eventually, would be here or in the
Yeah,
back.
pretty much right there is where I'm trying to get a view of that
Yeah.
eastern field and as much of view of the house as I possibly can.
Okay.
So where you pinged is pretty much exactly where I was thinking.
And it looks like the tracks Go like this, and suddenly turn around a wreck, suddenly turn around a wreck, turn around a wreck. And go like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so back to the other boys. You branch out from the building, and who's making the roll for recon roll as you
Well,
cross this open
I
space?
made the recon roll and it was awful. But
Oh.
can the others make a recon roll as well?
Think they could have assisted you.
Yeah. But, okay.
Although I don't know. I think you're already at the maximum that you could have.
He's double 12s,
Had.
yeah. I was like, wow. Now,
Yeah.
can you push that roll? You can push it, but if you fail, you'll get a stress, and if you crit fail, you'll blow yourself up. Potentially.
I shall push it. How do I push it?
There is a push button in the actual recon roll you rolled. Oh wait, there isn't. Why is there not?
Maximum pushes. No. It says
Oh, because recon. Yeah, because usually in recon it's passive. You can't push it. So I think Foundry took liberties there. Just make another recon roll, and if you fail, you take a stress point, and if you crit fail.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's weird because my recon roll I could push. Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
Heck
boom,
yeah.
boom.
Heck yeah, Poach. You're
You
freaking juggling the mines. You saw so many of them.
If you want, with that success, I could say that you could lead over the next. I think it's called a stretch. Stretch? Is that the 4 minutes to?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It's turn, stretch, shift.
Okay. So in this next stretch, you can move through the minefield. Okay. You've succeeded for a stretch of finding a path through it. So in a stretch, in that amount of time, you could easily cross the field, enter the tree line. It would probably it'd only take you about 4 minutes to get there.
What I might do. Who's at the back? As we are, that means I can get there quicker. I'm just thinking of marking it. How far apart are these mines?
I'm not sure. So they have official book patterns sometimes, and I don't know how knowledgeable are you with the Soviets.
So it is a purposely laid military mine. It's not just civilians putting in.
Yes,
okay.
this was.
I'm just trying to think whether if we leave Sergei at the rear, and as we're going past the mines, he can make some sort of marking, because just in case if we do need to withdraw, and I'm not there or somebody else.
You can put a cigarette butt every.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
There might be like twigs or something like that you know. Something big enough that since it's raining.
Sergey can go draw in the dirt a big X over the top of the mine. That'll work well. So.
Don't step on the X's.
It's raining. It looks like a recently ploughed field, so I'd imagine it'd be pretty easy to put sticks in.
Yeah.
Close to the mines. So I'll get him to do that as we're moving into that first tree line.
Got it. Off we go. Okay, so you can move your character across. It's not. I mean, if we have to, I'll put in a trail and so on. And the tree line itself. Now the mines stop about halfway across the field. I forgot to mention. There's a band of mines that goes across that field, just so you know, and it's about.
North to south. Yeah, got you. Okay.
It runs like that. They set up a band, and then it kind of goes like. Appears to be like that, sort of, or more like this actually. And the road. Pardon me. I'm drawing lines everywhere.
Mines everywhere.
Yeah. But the tree line is not.
Oh, good.
As far as you know, you're not sure. And there is a, to your amazement, you think that there's an intact bridge over here. It's
Okay.
not very big, but it's you're like, holy cow. No one's. It's partially wrecked. You see, maybe somebody tried to blow it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and move. You guys hit the tree line. There's nobody in the tree line, and you start going across. And you may not have seen it before. Do you move through the trees and start to move east, or where do you want to go? Because you'll discover
I
soon
want.
there's a big pond up ahead.
Yeah, that's what I want to go to the. Once I hit the pond, I want to go north and
All right.
keep the pond on my right. Yeah,
Okay, I'll go ahead
and
and
then go to the top north and east corner of the pond, and then take a knee and observe and listen to my surroundings,
excellent. Okay, well,
and also trying to keep eyes on with the three of us. Keep eyes on Mike as he's moving in.
okay, we'll get back to you guys in a minute because I'll just set you up real quick. You do notice this big pond, and you see stuff floating in it, and things and debris sticking out of it. It doesn't give you a good feeling. There's a smell. The battlefield had a smell of its own. The old cordite and even some carrion was drifting over the battlefield from those days past. But this pond has a real distinct smell. The building up ahead, what you can see through the trees and such, is largely in ruin. Okay, it's not as intact as this picture implies, as most of the buildings around here are. Just to warn you, they're mostly ruins. But this building will get you to make recon rolls. Now, anyone who's doing a recon roll can roll. So far, it's been quiet. You do see that plume of smoke, and it's kind of black smoke. You're not sure what it's coming from. It's coming over the top of the roof of the building and drifting with the wind away. It's raining. It's kind of miserable. You're all getting quite wet and cold. Your cigarettes might be getting damp, Sergey. You're like, damn it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'll get back to you with that roll. Max, or Eric, you've been following them through the tree line, kind of bringing up the rear. You're about 40 meters behind them or so, kind of being the rear guard. Just so you know, okay.
All right.
And
I'm still here.
gotcha. Who else is up there? That's
Sergey
Nick.
and Max. Yep.
Yeah. Nick and Nick. Shit, what happened here?
Yeah, I haven't been able to drag Sergey onto the map or anything, so I don't know if that's Foundry or me. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's still a few bugs in here. Let me get that fixed.
I've got a different. It's a different token, obviously, but
Yeah, I know.
it
I don't know how that happened. It just what I think I have an idea, but bear with me, guys. It's
Yeah.
I changed your name, Sergey. It should be you now officially.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
So
butting up against when I gotta roll out, guys. So just if I gotta leave abruptly, just wanted to give you a heads up.
gotcha. Sergey, what are you doing while these soldiers are moving ghost-like through the undergrowth and forest? Pretty impressive.
yeah, he can move kind of quietly too when he wants to, though.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll have his pistol out. He'll be hanging back because he knows he's not a fighter, keeping an eye out. So recon to kind of watch the. I assume they're looking at the house, so he's gonna watch the woods, I guess.
Okay. And you guys are, yeah, the smell of the pond kind of is over lingering, but you guys don't see much at the moment. You're too far away. You can barely make out the ruin of the building. You can't make out where the smoke plumes comes from. There's nobody in the forest as far as you can tell. What did you roll for your recon? 11 and an 8?
No, 11 and a 12.
Oh, okay. And
The
Sergey,
other
you
one
can.
was push.
Gotcha. Sergey, do you want to make a recon roll for me? And
It's cool.
you do
Good one, too.
see some game. You see 2 deer, and they startle you a bit. And they're to the north of you, and they were in this kind of little bit of a clearing here area. You hadn't noticed them. They kind of, but they're there grazing. But whatever. You're like, Max spots him too, and he, for a minute, his rifle comes up and stuff, but he's watching, taking Nick's lead, who's on point. And so we'll go to now. Do you guys have? You can actually did you get ready? You could wave to each other across the pond. It's probably only about 80 meters across, or lengthwise, pardon me, and about each hex is 10 meters.
Yeah,
So.
that's one of our main objects is to still keep eyes on Mike.
So now back to Evan. Give me a recon roll as you roll up to that tree line, and
Sure.
looking, you can see through. There's some trees here, about 100 meters of trees and stuff, so you can make out parts of that ruined building up ahead, and you can
Okay.
also now have eyes on. You're about, I don't know, 120 meters or so from what appears to be. Give me a roll to see how much detail you get in the rain and haze. And who has the binoculars? If you're
I would have given those back to Max.
Max, okay.
Yeah.
So
Got 'em.
you can just make out through the smoke billowing around. There's a vehicle that is on its side. It's burning. It's hit possibly mine, or it was hit by something, but you suspect it was some sort of mine. But what catches your eye there are a group of figures around the vehicle, and they've dragged some things out of the vehicle, and they're kind of away from it. Hard to make out distinct features. One of them's wearing a gas mask, and they're not in military attire. They're sort of dressed in leather jackets. Some of them have combat boots on, and they tend to have, one of them has a blanket tied around his body. They seem to be nasty looking customers. One of them probably was a stolen flak jacket, and another one has a motorcycle helmet on, and they're armed with one's got a shotgun, one's got a hunting rifle, another guy's got some sort of an AKM, kind of in rough shape. And there's there's a total of 4 of them that you can see, and just as you're watching, one of them has an axe, a kind of crude axe, and he just brings it down onto the head of one of the bodies they pulled from the car. And the car is actually a military jeep, a kind of Soviet jeep. It's a real light one. I'll get it out for you in a moment. I'll bring out some more details.
If I still have Poach's attention, I'll give him the enemy sighted and then hold up basically my whole hand.
Gotcha. Give me one moment. You guys go ahead. Just let you know I'm quickly doing some stuff.
We certainly need to find some comms.
Yeah, and armor and food and everything.
Now you thought you saw for a second when the figure put its arm up before the guy hit him in the head. We'll call them marauders for now.
Yeah.
I do not know about food, but I know where you can find an axe, so right over there.
An axe and a slightly used AKM.
Yeah, and it's nasty, but you're a hardened guy. It's a brutal place and all that. So you're just kind of cringe a bit. You're like, ugh. It's not how we do it.
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys think on what we're gonna do next, because we're gonna be not starting initiative until something. They haven't noticed you yet. I've been making recon rolls because you suspect there could be more around, and they look like a bit of the cautious type. These ones seem pretty cocky though, right? They're just kind of. One was almost laughing and pointing and threw taking a piss on the side, and they're trying to. One's laughing as one guy gets kind of burnt as he's trying to pull something out of the vehicle as it's burning. And I'm gonna make a. Just give me a second. Uh, the one closest to you there, Evan. He's looking right where you are. Suddenly. And he's the guy at the motorcycle helmet. And you can see he's looking, and you realize that you're not sure what happened. And he starts to walk, not on the road, on the side of the road, and he calls back and he's looking your way.
All right, this is about to get fun, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and you see, his rifle's not pointing or anything, but he's looking and he's putting his hand up, shielding from the rain.
I mean, I'll do my best to. I mean, I'm gonna go prone if I'm not assumed to be already.
Now, sorry to interrupt. Could I get a command roll to see how well you guys communicated from who would have the highest rank in your troop? By the way, we should solve
I think
that.
it would be Max.
He's no, he
Yeah,
what?
Max, he's the captain.
Okay, so I'll get him to make no one higher than captain. Okay, fair enough.
I'm a staff sergeant, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm technically a civilian, so.
Okay, so you can't really see each other well enough to do hand signals, and unfortunately you'd have to make noise or get out of cover, and you're not in communication at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if okay, if I have to start shooting, I mean that's at this point that's going to be our opener for communicating.
No, this guy's slowly sauntering over toward you. Now he's vagued off. He's strayed a little bit to the left. Now he's still 50 meters away. His gun's still down. It seems like he's almost curious.
Yeah, I mean, if we can avoid a firefight, I'll certainly do that. If I'll obviously have the bipod out on the machine gun, but I'll just kind of track him and basically do an overwatch.
And stay hidden, I'm assuming?
Correct. Yes.
All right, so back to the other three. He's laying low for some reason. Or you saw him go into the tree line, and you saw him gesturing up ahead, and giving a gesture of there was somebody up ahead, and then he ducked in the tree line suddenly and hid, kind of. So you do know that he spotted somebody. Nick.
So I'm going to move forward and then come down, keeping the lake on it'll be on my right, because I'm going to start heading down south towards Mike,
Gotcha.
with the in between the lake and the building, if that makes sense.
Sure. And for now, we haven't quite entered initiative yet. I'm almost tempted to go to initiative, but for now, we'll play it out because they're not really doing much difference except. Yeah, so for now, Nick, I'll move you ahead. You can get here pretty easily, and you're getting close to the building. Okay, Sergey, you can follow up or whatever. Max will stay in the rear guard about 20, 30 meters behind you. When you get close to the building, Nick, You thought you smelled this earlier, but the pond was kind of overpowering it. But that roll was so well done. But you do smell something cooking.
I knew it.
Coming from, probably the building. You get a whiff of
Right.
kind of barbecue-y kind of smell. Someone's cooking meat or something.
Nice.
Cannibals. I hate these guys.
Yeah.
And as you get closer to the pond and move by it, you can see there are bodies in the pond floating around. And some of them, their hands tied behind their backs and stuff.
Well, I hate to have to leave it. It's a perfect cliffhanger
Be right
moment,
back.
but
Uh,
I gotta run.
You know what, Evan? I was thinking about kind of coming to close soon anyway.
Oh, perfect.
Then I could program a bunch of stuff. There's some things I have to sort out on Foundry, and this encounter could get pretty heavy. You guys kind of had the
Yeah.
choice to go right or left in a way, right? And it's
Yep.
interesting that this encounter, the way they go. Anyway, Evan.
Awesome.
Yeah.
you-
If Evan's got to go now, this is the best time to stop because he'll miss all the fun.
yeah, and then Max will be able to be here hopefully next time too, right? And
Yep.
um, I'll have things sorted out much more,
Yeah.
much better. Now that I know what went wrong, right? I've actually played
Yeah.
it. I've also another hitch. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I finally figured out the
appreciate-
thing with the dice is I was the car. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once I was
Well,
done
I
with the car,
appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of
Thanks.
fun. I hate to cut it short, but I'll talk to you guys next week. And
Cheers,
thanks
Evan.
again.
All right, on. Thanks so much. See you around.
Later.
Have a good one.
Okay, everybody. Yeah, we'll kind of stop here, a cliffhanger. This situation, I think it's probably going to hit the fan here once you find out what's going on in this little place too. A queasy feeling in your stomach. If you hit a really dark area,
Cool.
might even get a stress point or so. But lots of fun. I hope everyone had a good time. I enjoyed every moment of it. And as more we
Okay,
play,
guys. Yep.
we'll keep in touch.
Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend.
You too. Yeah, right on, Jeff and Eric. I really appreciate it.